Hey everybody, this is Mark, otherwise known as Bama Guitar Dude, and today I wanted to cover a topic that is a subscriber recently asked me, what is the secret to purring on a mouth call? And honestly, there is no secret. It's just a matter of finding a call that is easy for you to purr on and practicing the technique. Okay, and I've got a quick video on this, but I wanted to cover this topic in a little bit more detail because it's getting a lot of hits and I'm getting a lot of questions about it. In my opinion, the secret to purring, and let me start off by saying I am not trying to purr like a competition caller, okay? I am just trying to get a purr to come out of my mouth that sounds somewhat like a turkey, okay? So I am not intending to enter any competitions doing this. I just want to get as close as I can. And the way that I developed my purr was to imitate what I was doing on my slate call. So if you ever run a slate and you purr on a slate, my purr that I do with my mouth call is going to sound similar to that. So that's how I developed my purr technique on my mouth call, okay? But there are a few tips and a few secrets that you can try. Number one is you need to find a call that is very easy to blow to start off with. And this is a houndstooth Diamond X, and it's actually a double split V type cut, and so it's very easy to blow. It's very easy to purr on. I think a double reed mouth call, split V, kind of raspy, is going to be an easier call to learn how to purr on initially, and then you can move on to another mouth call. Okay, but the latex on this, the stretch, which is the tension on the reeds, the latex is not very high, and so it's very easy to blow. Consequently, it's easy to purr on. Okay, so step number one is you need to find a mouth call that's easy to blow. Okay, it doesn't require too much force or effort or air to sound the call off. Any call, cluck, putts, whatever. Okay, those are going to be easier calls to begin to learn how to purr on. Okay, so you got to pick the right mouth call. I think the second thing is don't worry initially about the volume. Okay, what you want to develop is you want to develop the technique of purring and do it loud to start off with. Okay, and there are three main ways to execute purr. And I cannot do all three of them. I do the gargling method. So, number one, there's a gargling method. And do this without the call being in your mouth. Okay? There's the gargling method. I'm fluttering the thing in the back of my mouth and motorboating. That's the purr. It's a motorboat. Okay? So that's the gargle method. There's the tongue flutter. Again, you're motorboating, and I'm putting the tip of my tongue towards the roof of my mouth, towards the front, and I'm just letting it flutter like a machine gun. Okay? And then the third method is the tongue fluttering. Okay, so there's three methods that you can use to produce a purr. In my opinion, I think that the gargle or the tongue fluttering method sound the most realistic like a turkey. Okay, and you can search Joe Slayton's video. He's got a great video on purring. Scott Ellis has a great video on purring. He uses the tongue fluttering method. Kevin Farr of Pecker Turkey Calls, his Facebook page, if you go to Pecker Turkey Calls on Facebook, he's got a video on purring. It's a very good tutorial on purring. The other thing that I would tell you to do is find some audio or some video on YouTube of a real hen purring. Okay? Don't try to imitate me. We need to be trying to imitate the real deal. Okay? Alright, so find an easy mouth call. Figure out which method fits your technique. And for me, my technique, the way I hold the call in my mouth, the gargling method is the best technique for me. Now, what I did before running the video is I ran some warm water over this call, over the reeds of this call, to warm it up, okay, and get it wet, because it's easier to blow a mouth call when you warm it up and you get it wet. All right, but here's the idea. Number one, put the call in your mouth like you were going to issue any other call, and do the motorboat first, loud, like this right here. You hear that? And all I'm doing with the gargle method is I'm gargling. I'm not making any noise with my gargle, but I'm just, I'm letting that thing flap really hard, and I'm blowing a lot of air, and I'm getting it really loud so that I'm producing the motorboat. Then you can start to break it up like I just did right there. Short sequences of the motorboat. Slow it down. Again, don't worry about volume. You want it loud. Okay? And then what you want to do is when a hen purrs, it's a very quick deal. And she'll, whoa, whoa. I do not worry about the, whoa. I just want to get a, whoa, whoa. That's what I'm trying to shoot for. Okay? So, once you develop the motorboating and you're motorboating that call and you're getting a, however you want to do it, now you want to shorten it up real quick and make it quiet. Bring the volume down. See, I did that. So I'm doing clucks, and then you want to make sure you purr. Hens tend to purr immediately after a cluck. Okay, this is to sound the most realistic. So you want to work on your clucks and your purring kind of at the same time. And I am barely opening up, like maybe the side of my mouth. I'm just barely opening up my mouth so that the majority of the purr is produced inside of my mouth, and I'm just letting a little bit of the volume come out, okay? Nearly gagged on it. So that's another thing. You got to get used to gagging with a mouth call if you're ever going to get good at it. So that's the idea, okay? Is you want to work on your clucks and your purrs, and once you get the motorboating loud, you just want to split it up into very short sequences. If you notice when I purred, it was like pop, 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 pop. That's what you want to think in your mind. Real quick. Okay? And again, this is not a competition style purr. It probably won't win me any awards, but it does sound very, very close to what a wild turkey hen sounds like. So again, motorboating, loud at first, then you want to shorten up the motorboat sequence and put it in between some clucks. One final time. just like that right there. So I hope that helps. Search out these other resources. Kevin Farr with Pecker Records got a great purring video. Scott Ellis for the tongue fluttering. And the way I hold my call in my mouth, I cannot do the tongue fluttering method. And I can barely do the lip flapping method, but I don't think that sounds pretty good. I don't like the way that sounds. It'll get you by just for learning it, but I would say you need to work on either the tongue flutter or the gargle method to sound the most realistic. And then find you a call that is easy to blow, a raspy call, double reed or triple reed that's not stretched too tight. Split V would be a great call to try to learn your purr on. And then once you have the technique down, then you can move on to any call that you want and produce a realistic purr. Okay? So I hope that helps you guys out. A little bit more detail on purring, and put it in between your clucks and you'll sound pretty good and hopefully fool some turkeys during turkey season. Take care.